DRG is 0-3 in Pro League. He lost his first match to Parting in a match that was highlighted by definitely Miwa on YouTube. That was really funny, and it was really cool to see the Hydralisk get trapped there. Parting just crushed DRG. He's lost every single map he's played, including the ace match he played against Flash. And the question is, can he keep his wits about him? Can he bounce back from this loss streak that he's on right now?
Well, he has a big opponent ahead of him. He's going to be up against herO CJ Antis, arguably one of the best players that they even have on the entire team. If he is not up to par here, if he's not playing at his best, at least a little bit better. He didn't give us bad games, but he's got to play a little bit better to take out this guy, herO, doing really well so far. He's on our list of most winning players. He has 4 wins so far. Yep. Even though he does have those 3 losses, it doesn't really factor into that. He's 50% so far, and he's 1-0 versus Zerg. He's looking, even just lately, like in the last week or so, he's looking really well. He's looking really good. So I'm excited for his matches. He looks a little bit nervous. He's closing his eyes, doing a little bit of meditation before the match.
Yeah, he's up against a high-profile player, DRG. And in the past, I would have said, DRG's on a loss streak. He's going to be stressed out. I can't believe they fielded him. But it's a new DRG that we're seeing here today. Let's jump into our second map, Star Station, here at the 2014 Pro League with Wolf and Brandon.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left, the red Zerg for MVP, it's DongRaeGu.
And his opponent to the bottom right in the blue, the Protoss player for CJ Antis, it's herO. The lowercase h, not to be confused with Liquid herO, plays for Incredible Miracle in Pro League. But what I was saying right before we got yanked into that game is that DRG in the past was emotional. I cannot tell you how I felt when I watched him lose his matches to not only go to the finals in Busan, where his family was coming to watch. They were already prepared to see him in there if he won. Where he's from. He's from Busan. DongRaeGu is the place that he's from in Busan. That's the name of the area that he lives in. That's literally what his ID means. And then he lost the match that was really important for his team to win for GSTL, which was also at the finals in Busan. Here's again another update. This beard is still awesome. It has not changed.
It doesn't change. It really doesn't change. But continue.
And I remember seeing this guy. You guys saw him too on the camera in the booth. How emotional he was, how upset it made him, and he never bounced back from it fully. I feel at that moment the energy he had before then, for a while it was lost. He had a great run in Code S recently, and I feel like that was the turning point for DRG again. Now in 2014, going into this with him being put out so often in Pro League, his coach is feeling the DRG energy. Everyone is saying DRG might be back. Is DRG coming back to his full potential? The GSL champion that we saw beat his teammate Genius. Is DRG back? And him coming out 3 times, even though he lost each game, I'm feeling like it's not about nerves. It's just about the caliber of opponents he's playing against. Playing against Flash in an ace match, that's no easy feat, right? Playing against Parting on opening day of Pro League, that's no easy feat. And I feel like DRG, man, he could be back. And he is not stressed. I just see it in his face. Even though he's 0-3, that's not affecting him here.
Yeah, I feel the same way, actually. That's when I saw these lineups and I saw they were putting DongRaeGu in again. I was like, I know he's 0-3, but I feel that same trust that you guys feel, that MVP coaches feel, the whole team feels. He's coming back here. He was put in that ace match against Flash for a reason. It wasn't just like, oh, he's our ace player, we're just going to try to put him out here. No, it's because he's playing a lot better recently, even if not so in Pro League. I really want to see him do well and come back into his zone. He was one of my favorite players back in the day.
I think a lot of people would say that about him.
Yeah.
And he's just a player. We talked about this before when he played in the ace match. One of the players who was one of the most famous StarCraft 2 players in Korea, who switched over very early on and was playing in the qualifiers, not able to qualify multiple times, just over and over again, attempting and failing. And then he really had a great run. And I think that his career is far from over. He goes double hatchery before pool in this game. And he's scouted, of course, by herO. He identifies this. He has a fast gateway, so he's going to be able to put on some pressure early on if he chooses to.
Yep. It was Nexus first by herO as well. He wasn't able to cancel that. He did send the drone over, but he was sending it into the base, and herO was able to sneak it out without a block. So herO did get that, but DongRaeGu said, okay, I'll just add another hatchery of my own.
Yeah. Zealot walks across the map. Stalker soon to join. And with the Mothership Core there as well, he could actually kill a Queen. The Queen's just barely going to be popped out. The one thing you can do reactionary against a triple hatch build this fast is just try to punish, because there's only going to be 3 Queens, and they're all going to be separate from each other. There's no creep spread. It's impossible. It's just physically impossible to have the bases connected this fast. So he's going to trade against the Zerglings as best as he can, and then if he can kill a Queen, that's what he wants. See if he can do it.
He wants that Queen blood.
He wants it. The Zerglings are here to help defend, and DRG just needs some micro here. He needs to pull that Queen back. He so far does not do it, but here come those Zerglings surrounding that Zealot. He has to micro back. Starter step really nice here.
A Time Warp going down. Wants to save that Zealot. Is going to kill a bunch of these Zerglings. So far getting 2. That Zealot knocked down. There it goes. This Mothership Core going to have to back off for now.
Yeah, and you know what?
Queens.
DRG not afraid to make those extra Zerglings. This saves his Queens. He has a second Queen connected there. The Creep's not connected, but he walks down. And even with the second Stalker here joining up, it's not going to be easy for him to get any permanent damage done to DRG. He's losing a lot of hit points on his Mothership Core. Actually avoids these Queens, trying to find something else he can pick off. Maybe some drones coming over, maybe some Overlords. I like this choice because killing the Queens is obviously not something you can do. But having the Mothership Core over here means the Zerglings that want to chase are going to have to go off creep. The same to be said of those Queens. And he's just trying to get any damage possible done here. Warp Gate research nearly complete back at home. 2 more gates. Could follow this up with an attack, and oh no, this Overlord. DRG wants to re-rally that. There he goes.
DRG making a bunch of Overlords in preparation for possible Overlords that could go down. You see his 67 of 94 so far. This Overlord trying to get into the base as well. Doesn't see much, I don't believe. Continuing to make a bunch of Zerglings. He just wants to be safe against this. Once you get those 3 hatcheries up, even if you have to stave off a little aggressive attack here and build a few extra Zerglings, it's not the end of the world. You know, of course you would like to make those into drones, but you got to think back at herO's base. He was making those units. He was chrono boosting his gateways as well. And now DongRaeGu has stabilized. He does have those 3 bases. We're going to have to see what he throws out for tech. A 3rd base going down for herO now.
Yep. And DRG's attacking across the map with some slow Zerglings here. Speed a long way away on the other hand. Roach Warren and Lair started. Blink started instantaneously here as that Twilight Council finishes. This push that we may see from herO after this, with the added gateways that are going to wall this cannon off, and the 3rd base extra mineral income he gets, and the +2 he's going to have with the Blink that he should start right away. +1 just finished, and I think once he starts +2, chrono boosting both the Blink research and +2, he's going to be able to hit a very strong timing, and if DRG does not identify this is what he's up against, it can be tough for him to defend it.
Yep. The name of the game is DRG needs to know this is happening. He needs to get a scout in there somehow, make an Overseer. He has a couple of Overlords near the base, so he's going to try to morph from those and see what he can see. He has these slow Zerglings. Once he gets speed, maybe he can see these 4 gateways that are over here as well. He just needs to know this attack is coming, that the Blink Stalkers in huge numbers are going to be coming.
Yeah. And Overseer being morphed right now. Probably the one at the backside of the base, the bottom right. I would expect the location he wants to fly in.
And the tech is Infestor Pit. We have road speed coming out as well.
Yeah, it gets melee upgrades, though, for his Zerglings, rather than getting the upgrades for the Swarm Host. So I think we're just going to see a faster tech to Hive here with that Infestation Pit. And the Overseer that he morphed, where did that get morphed? I don't think he actually went to the main base. It's not that Overlord, that's for sure. An attack is moving across the map. This is the attack we were talking about. So many gateways, so much production here, and oh no, this Zergling run by is actually going to slow this attack down and kill a few Stalkers for free, forcing some Force Fields to be used, not where he wants to use them. And he actually might even lose some probes here. 2 Lings linger, no pun intended, back here at the base.
Yep, actually he did not clean those up. That 1 probe did clean it up, and he is going to finally announce and find those. These guys...
He loses the pylon.
He needs the pylon. He needs to get that pylon down. Doesn't want to lose too many units, though. Goes for the pylon, but he's going to lose these roaches as well as Zerglings.
This buys him so much time, though, Brendan. That second pylon that's queued is from a probe at the 3rd base. It's going to take forever for that pylon to actually get up, which means he's going to have so much more time. He needs it. Infestation Pit researching pathogen glands right now. He's going to go into some fests, which are going to be great against this because he can force field, or rather fungal those force fields, get those sentries down. And oh, terrible force fields here by herO. I don't know what he was doing there. He needs to just recall out of here. He does not want to stick around.
Yeah, a lot more force fields coming out as well, and he's losing a bunch of units. So many units coming out of DRG right now, even starting that Hive mid-fight. He's very confident against this right now.
Yeah, he is, but you know, he doesn't have any infestors. He's got the upgrade, but no infestors queued. That's really not going to be too handy here. I think that might have been a mistake, but as it is, the attack is stronger than I thought. He still has all those gateways to pressure through. He just wants to get the hatchery and then recall. Cannot lose his mothership coiler. Uses a time warp.
Time warp goes down. DRG's going to back off here. Blink forward. He's going to get this hatchery. That's what he wanted. Now he's going to back off for now. But like you said before, with all of these gateways coming out, he has so much production.
I have to admit I was mistaken. I thought he had infestors out. I really thought with the infestors out, he could have easily just grabbed onto those and killed the army, or at least held it without being worried. Now not only does he lose the hatchery, the momentum is still in herO's hands. He's got so many warpens, he keeps so many units alive. And now only 3 infestors, which aren't even ready yet, may not be enough. Zealots at the back here, he wants to change that if he can. DRG setting up a great concave, and Hive is almost done, so he's going to have that to fall back onto, even if he doesn't have a 4th base, if he holds this. And it looks like herO starting +3, walks home.
herO actually shifting in his chair. He's like, yeah, I've done enough damage. This is fine. He has his 3rd base up really, really safely. This girl is really surprised. She's slowly sinking into her chair. She got spotted.
She's wearing some warm clothes. It's cold here. Not in the studio, but outside. She doesn't actually need that many warm clothes in here. It's actually pretty warm in here. But the infestor is ready to stop any units trying to go there. I mean, he needs force fields here. No, I think he's just going to circumvent the army, and he better hope he has enough energy for recall. I think he just does, because he's going to want to go home very, very fast if DRG commits to chasing. This is a game of chicken right now. It's like, who's going to go home first?
Seems like DongRaeGu is actually going to go for a counterattack at the same time. Note, DongRaeGu is going to pull back, and he could actually target down this hatchery. He has his +2 doing a ton of damage here. Here goes down the 3rd hatchery.
And DRG actually, with some hesitation, is not at his opponent's base, loses the hatch, and now when he goes for the counterattack, guess what? Recall's already active. He has to run away. He gets no damage done here. The Hive being done for him is huge, though. He starts the Chitinous plating for his Ultruist. 2-2 about to be done. He can start 3-3 as soon as he can afford it, which he already does have enough gas to do so. He's rebuilding now his base up to the top. 2 hatches on the way, the base of the 9 o'clock as well. And with +3, though, and double Colossus production, still things looking okay for herO. He needs to identify that there are infestors in this army, though. He gets his whole army trapped. Zerglings, roaches, everything getting surrounded here. I cannot believe he allowed this to happen. He stepped way too close to the sun, and he is getting burned for it. herO falling apart here, now trying to desperately reinforce, but DRG already ready to kill this Nexus. Looks like he's going to be able to get it. Infested Terrans being dropped here as well, and a huge wonder by herO gives a nice edge to DRG, who now has resecured both additional bases. It is starting Ultralist production.
This is herO just moving into an army, not realizing there was infestors, not looking at his army at that exact moment, and that's enough for your whole army to get bungled. He lost all of his ground army. He has these tech units in the bag.
This was a donation for DRG.
Yeah.
DRG is like, listen, man, I know I'm 0-3, but you don't have to be this nice to me. I want to earn my win. Don't give it to me in a nicely packaged ball of units that can be bungled with just 2 infestors.
Yeah.
DRG now.
We saw the supply of that whole army just plummet from about 160, 170 down to 77 now, and he has no 3rd base.
Yeah, this Ultralist is just disinterested. He's like, you don't even need me now. Do you know?
He got the call back at the base. He's like, no, you can stay at home.
He's like, I am now overqualified for this job. I don't think you need an Ultralist right now. You can make a few, you know, if you want to just crush him on the next push, because he's down to 85 supply, doesn't have a 3rd base, is still making double Colossi, which is not what he wants against Ultralist. He wants to make him double Immortals. Well, if he makes double Immortals against the amount of production that DRG has, his Zerling count and the upgrades, then the Immortals are just going to go down before they can even shoot at Ultralist. With all the Infestors here as well, as Infested Terrans he can drop to ignore the armor of those Immortals that he might make, which he can barely afford to make. This game is already over. DRG is just deciding how he wants to end it.
Yeah, DRG's got to have some idea of how far ahead he is after getting that entire army. He knows about the Colossi, he is the Vipers now. He is maxed out against the 97 of herO.
And he has an army that's so expensive in gas. Ultralist, 3-3, Infestors, Vipers. He's got Spine Crawlers up at home for counterattacks. He's got Chitinous plating. These Vipers are going to latch onto those Colossi. They're going to go down in seconds, and then after that, we're going to watch herO sadly dying. There's a macro hatch even queued up right now.
Yeah, that's a Manor hatch. Here we go. Here comes the push. We're going to see if bundles go down. We see a recall.
He recalls to his natural. And DRG going to go over here and kill the third base. Like you said, a Manor Hatch going down. I said Macro Hatch, but I guess he could reinforce faster with it if he chose to. Anticlimactic, but here we go. Ultras leading the charge, tanking the damage. Even Queen's participating here in the fight. There's the first of Doug, second of Doug, third, fourth, and goodbye, herO. DRG is going to tie up this series 1-1 and take his very first win this season, proving that DRG is still in shape. Do not look at his results and doubt him. He will not be doubted. GG.
DRG very well played there. A bit of a donation, but he was on the ball with this army. He had all of these investors, the right choice for that huge army of Blink Stalkers. Was able to get a great funnel onto that entire army, really wipe it out. And from there, herO was in a really bad spot. DRG is back. He gets a win. He brings MVP back to 1-1.
Just really safe, patient play as well against the pressure he faced with the Blink Stalkers. Never really, overstepping his bounds to tech, getting the hive during the fight, being confident there. He lost his hatchery. He said, that's okay, I'll retake a hatchery at the 9 o'clock. I'll rebuild this hatch. I'm going to have infestors. Your army is still mostly sentries. And then he was in an okay spot in the game, right? I would say the game was pretty even. Both players building really nice compositions. Here not identifying until too late that they were immortal, or rather that he needed to make immortals. That was the one thing he was behind on. And then he just donated his entire army